In a world where hopium and common sense collide, starring the CryptoKeeper and BlockchainCrusader. Welcome to Debate Crypto. Well, I'm not sure what the hesitation was for. I was amped up. I was talking about before we jumped on, I was all amped up to get going, and I was like, let's get it on. And then we had a little bit of a slight pause there. So that's okay. Let me regroup here. Okay. It's Magic Money Monday. Let's get it going. Crypto fam, welcome. We are glad that you're here tonight on this beautiful Monday evening in November. I am ready, I will just say before we get started, for the temperatures to move back up. And when I say temperatures, I'm not just talking about the cold weather in Ohio. I'm talking about the temperatures of the crypto markets. We need them to heat up, and they're starting. They are starting. So, Miguel, what do we have on the podium this evening?
We got Budweiser launching NFTs. We got Israel ramping up their CBDC. And finally, we have children in grade school learning about Bitcoin already. My, oh my, what the future's going to look like.
Hey, listen. Go ahead.
I was going to say was, for anybody that wanted to do Black Friday shopping and you didn't buy any crypto, you missed out. The dip is gone, right? If you didn't get those deals when they was there, Cyber Monday is over. See you later.
That's a fact. The markets have been up. Crypto fam, if you are in the live chat, make sure you X out, smash the likes for us. But while I'm pulling up the market watch here, let me actually kind of rotate over here. I'm going to pull up a market watch real quick. But while I'm doing that, if you are a fan of children being taught, because that's the first thing we're going to go over tonight. If you are a fan of children being taught about blockchain and cryptocurrency in schools, smash a 1. If you think that it's something that they shouldn't be doing, put a 2 in the chat. So smash a 1 in the chat if you think that crypto should be taught in schools to young grade school age children, and put a 2 if you don't think so. If you want to put an explanation why, drop it, but drop that in the chat. So let's check it out. What do we got going on here? Biggest gainers, always BS. Not even going to hit on them because there are always these ridiculous tokens that nobody's ever heard of, right? They go 8, 9, 1,000% because they're not worth anything. And there's like 8 people that bought them and just ran the numbers up. So Bitcoin, 57,482 now, just flopped. So we're almost at bust even on 24 hours there. We're up 1.21% over the last 7 days. Finally, we made a big turnaround there. ETH, 44.86. We're up 3.5% almost. That, for me, is absolutely a welcome sight. Binance Coin up 2% and 11% on the week. Solana up a couple percent. Cardano actually is creeping up above $1.60. Guys, I bought some more Cardano on the dip last week, and I'm just really hoping to see another leg up. And let me just say, if you're bored with Cardano right now, I understand. I feel it, but you won't be bored that much longer. I really do believe that. XRP, just over $1. XRP loves that $1 space. And Polkadot, 36.89. And let's see here, Dogecoin wrapping out the top 10, up 5.95%. And a honorable mention, Avalanche, up 8.09%. So the market is starting to have a nice little turnaround. This is going to be super important for us as we move into December. Momentum. I think momentum is a really, really important thing to have on our side. So speaking of momentum, if you want to have momentum in the crypto space, you first got to get educated, right? And so first topic here, I was just asking you guys to put a 1 in the chat if you think that learning at a young age about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, etc., is important. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't, or if you think that it's a bad idea. If you want to put an explanation, sure, let's hear it. Slovakians in a classroom learn the basics of Bitcoin. The Slovakians are the winners. Bitcoin tweeted by Lark Davis, crypto investor and YouTube influencer, depicts young students learning basics about crypto in school. Book named Bitcoin Money, A Tale of Bitville, Discovering Good Money, written by Michael Karras and illustrated by Marina Jakubowska. I totally butchered that name, I'm sure. Introduced in a classroom that teaches young Slovakian students about the basics and importance of Bitcoin. It's a book for all ages. The book contains sections like trading, money, printing Bitcoin, and a little information about Satoshi. The aim of introducing the book about Bitcoin at the elementary level is to make aware the children of the trending crypto space and Bitcoin. Miguel, what are your first thoughts when you hear that there are children overseas, not in the United States, learning about Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so my initial thoughts is that's the way to go, right? It's the future. What are we seeing kids right now? The kids are being born, and at the age of 4 or 5, they're already playing with their parents' phone. They're already on YouTube. They're already on their iPads. So learning about digital money, digital currencies, why would they be learning about fiat currencies and how fiat currencies are running when in the next 15 to 20 years, as these kids grow up and actually have to deal with real money, they're not going to be dealing with cash. They're not going to be dealing with debit cards. They're going to be dealing with some sort of cryptocurrency digital money, right? Whether it's a central bank digital currency or Bitcoin or Ethereum, right? Those are the coins those are the currencies that they're going to be running with in the future. So that's why it's important for them to be learning at such a young age how these currencies work, and not just how they work, but you're literally teaching these young children so that when they grow up, they're the ones that are going to be creating the new cryptocurrencies, the new digital currencies of the future at some point, right?
Yeah.
All the currencies that we see right now in crypto probably won't exist forever. They will be replaced by something greater at some point, right? The Google that we have today is not the same Google that started in the 90s. It's
Yeah.
only same by name, but not even the font is the same anymore, right? So all these things will change, and that comes with a new level of younger children growing up in that world.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I think that we talk about it all the time, Miguel. The number one thing that we preach is education, right? We talk about with our debate crypto fam, right? We have the debate crypto.academy, and one of the things that we talk about, and it's the biggest thing we talk about, is education. When I first got into the crypto space, right, the biggest barrier to entry was not understanding what the heck was going on. Right. You hear all of this vocabulary. You're like, huh? What are liquidity? What is that? What does that even mean? Right. Bitcoin. They're mining Bitcoin. Do these guys have picks and shovels out? Like, how are they mining something that I thought was on the computer? Right. Blockchain. What's a block? Right. And so one of the great things that we're actually doing, and because we're so interested in the education space, right, is every morning throughout the week, and starting tomorrow morning, is going to be an educational video. It's going to be like 5 to 8 minutes long. The first one starts tomorrow morning. Okay. Just produced it today, and it's going to be up tomorrow morning. But every single day throughout the week, we're going to put out a 5 to 8 minute video at 9 o'clock in the morning. Why? That's a good question. Thank you for asking. We're putting it up because so many people act as if. And what do I mean by that? I mean that a lot of people get into the crypto space and they act as if they understand the vocabulary. They act as if they understand the conversations that are happening. Listen, the idea of fake it till you make it, I'm not so sure it applies with crypto, right? Because you go ahead and start faking it in crypto, and I'll tell you what's going to happen. You are going to lose a lot of money, right? You
Yeah,
need to be
you're gonna end up
prepared
in
and
the
educated. What'd you say, Miguel?
you're gonna end up in the shitcoin pile, right?
Yeah,
That's what happens
exactly.
when you don't get educated,
Yeah.
right? I literally, I don't want to call anybody out, but somebody in the chat literally just said Cat Girl is going to be the driver of interoperability for all the metaverses. I asked why, and they replied with Cat Girl to the moon. No, 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 didn't show any level of intelligence of why.
We still love you, Ryan. We still love you,
Yeah,
bro.
I mean, I'm not doubting the intelligence or that you actually have an answer for me, but you didn't give me an answer. So therefore, I have to assume with that answer that you don't have one. So there is some lack of knowledge there on why
Yeah.
that statement was said.
Yeah, and so every single day, when you guys wake up in the morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, there's going to be a video, 5 to 8 minutes. I would really throw this out there. Education was the best thing I ever did in the crypto space. It really was, because it allowed me to make better decisions. It's part of the reason that we have the Debate Crypto Academy. It's part of the reason that we get on here and do these streams at night. It's part of the reason that we are Debate Crypto. What does that mean? That means that we are not just taking at face value anything that's plated up in front of us. Miguel and I are absolutely against just blindly following, right? And so ultimately, we're going to dish that plate up to you, right, every single morning, and I hope you guys take advantage of it. That being said, just to finish on this article, these young kids, Miguel, you said it really well. They're born with an iPad, right? They are born with a phone. I will tell you, my 6-month-old daughter, do you know what she's most amused with? My phone. Yep. And I'm like trying not to give her screen time. And as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? This is life. This is where things are headed. And as much as I want her to develop, right, in the ways that I feel like I developed, we were living in a different world. I'm 37 years old, right? My dad had a video camera that was this big on his shoulder for Christmas morning. Like, hey, kids, like, what? Good morning. Ho, ho, ho. Santa Claus came, right? That is not where we live today, right? That's not the age that we live in. And so what I mean by that is cryptocurrency is the future. It is in front of us, and it will be used in the metaverse, and it will be used in real life. It already is. And so I think that kids getting educated, it's like learning a foreign language, Miguel. Kids learn best at a very young age. That doesn't just stop at foreign languages. That goes across the board. The earlier you can start teaching. My daughter's learning sign language right now. She's not deaf, but we teach it to her because she can't speak yet. And she started even today, like, this is milk, right? Like you're milking, but milk, you want some milk, right? And it's pretty cool because literally for the first time today, I said, you want some milk? And she literally looks at my wife's breastfeeding, and she like looks at my wife, and it could have been a coincidence, but I'm like, you want some milk? And it was about time for her to feed. She like looks at my wife and starts just this huge smile, almost like she understood, like, hey, it's time to eat. So that education is absolutely huge. So speaking of education, right? These central banks are behind on their education, right? And so what do we have coming up? We have central bank digital currencies, which is in the future, and that future is happening now, okay? Israel is stepping up its central bank digital currency efforts, says report. Israel wants to be at the forefront of central bank digital currency technology, according to the Bank of Israel governor. We got the Israeli flag there. In brief, Israel is advancing its research into a possible central bank digital currency, or CBDC. The country's central bank governor said today, my apologies, but Israel is still not 100% sure it will release a CBDC. Israel is fast-tracking its research and development efforts for its own central bank digital currency. Reuters reported today, citing the Bank of Israel governor. Amir Yaron, who has been the central bank's governor since 2018, said Monday that although the Bank of Israel had not yet decided on issuing a digital shekel, it is, quote, committed to being at the forefront of the economic and technological knowledge regarding a CBDC, the report said. A CBDC is a digital version of a fiat currency like the US dollar or Israeli shekel, backed by a central bank. Some of the CBDCs employ a blockchain, the technology that underpins cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. But CBDCs are different to cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum because they are permissioned, i.e., privately controlled. They're centralized. Countries around the world are currently researching the benefits of developing their own CBDCs. Israel in May said that a digital shekel could help its economy and that it was trialing the Ethereum blockchain for its own CBDC. Let me just say, Miguel, before I pass this off, and let me read it again. It was trialing the Ethereum. Blockchain for its CBDC. Miguel, what are your thoughts on these central bank digital currencies?
I hate them.
Okay, why?
Because they're trash, right? So they're trying to reclaim their power it's inevitable, right? It's going to happen regardless whether crypto was a thing or not, eventually money would have gone digital. Everything is evolving, right? People back in the day uh, didn't know. Everybody wrote a check when they went somewhere and didn't want to pay with cash, and then went from checks to debit cards, and from debit cards to credit cards, and then now from that to Apple Pay, where you just tap your phone. And now we're
Yeah.
moving on to, we've moved on to cryptocurrencies, and now the banks and the fiat currencies have been left behind. So this is their way of catching up to the world with the technology that's happening and getting things digital. There is no real reason to be printing physical money anymore.
Yeah.
At this point, there is no reason for that. Everything is digitized. Your bank accounts are digitized. The bank isn't actually holding X amount of dollars in the vault. I
That's
mean,
a
I don't
fact.
know. Unfortunately, bank robbers are out of a job. I don't know what they're going to be robbing anymore.
We'll send them a
So
Christmas card and apologize that
yeah,
that they
so
don't have a job anymore.
yeah, it definitely sucks for them. That industry and bank heist movies, it's over, right? They're not heisting anything. There's nothing in there. Those vaults are empty. Nothing but hopes and dreams in there.
Yeah.
So but at the end of the day, it's their way of getting power. I don't like them for the simple fact that a lot of people will trust digital currencies that come from governments over cryptocurrencies that are not
Yeah.
governed by a government, because they have that faith in the government system that it means something, but it doesn't mean anything. At the end of the day, governments are just kind of like an accepted gang that runs the block, right? And just like, hey, we'll just gotta do what they say because this guy's the biggest guy around with the most amount of guns, right? So
That's a really interesting thought, a really interesting way of putting it. Chat, if you think central bank digital currencies, I'm going to explain a little bit further. I'm going to go a little further into this in just a second. But if you think central bank digital currencies are a good idea, just type yes into the chat. If you think they're not a good idea, type no. Again, if either way, if you want to put a little explanation, great. We are going to take some questions and talk to you guys in the chat as well. Give me a minute. Let me go a little further into this. CBDCs are split into two types: retail and interbank. A retail CBDC can be directly held by citizens and is used as a digital form of cash as a complement to paper money. An interbank CBDC is restricted to use by financial institutions for interbank payments and financial settlement processes. Most countries looking to issue a CBDC will use blockchain technology to do so, according to a report earlier this year by PricewaterhouseCoopers. I think it's crazy interesting that you have people like Jamie Dimon, right? That ultimately just absolutely trashes blockchain. And let me back that up. He trashes Bitcoin because it's a decentralized solution for, finance. And DeFi is what is absolutely what they're scared of the most. So he trashes the idea of a decentralized system like Bitcoin, right? But I think it's really interesting. Where did blockchain technology essentially, even though it goes back even further than that, really came to the forefront when Bitcoin came around. And when you read these articles, they all talk about how these banks are going to use blockchain technology. Let me tell you why they're going to use blockchain technology. Blockchain technology is immutable, right? Immutable means the ledger, the information can't be altered. It can't be changed. Okay. So they are using it because it is a literally digital ledger that's not going to be changed. Okay. That works. The problem, and this is where I think it's really interesting, why can't they just use the same CBDC that we use to exchange between and again, let me preface this. I don't know a lot about the inner workings of this. I'm just throwing out an idea here. Why do they need a different CBDC than what we're going to use, right? If I want to interact or use $100, however, 100 shekels, whatever, and then they want to send 100 shekels over to another bank, it's all right there on the blockchain. Let's just see it. But I think it's interesting. They've got something totally separate. Why? And I'm going to leave you guys, with that question.
I mean, it's pretty simple. Why, right?
Why?
Private ledgers, right? They want private ledgers. They don't want their thing in the public system. They want to keep us on a public ledger so they know exactly what we're doing with our money, but they don't want to us to know what they're doing with the money, right? National security purposes, yada yada, all that spiel.
Yeah.
But another thing with the digital dollars or digital currencies or whatever it is, the problem with fiat currencies is they create a debt slavery system, and
Yeah.
we are slaves to that system, and that's what gives them control over us, right? Crypto helps us regain power by being our own bank, by being able to make loans in DeFi, right? Take out loans, produce loans, earn APY, gain more money. We're in a system of hodling, of saving and making our money grow. In the fiat system, whether it's regular fiat or digital currency fiat, they are in a spending world, in a spend, 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 and stay poor forever. Never stop spending because you just have unlimited credit, unlimited this, and it keeps you in this debt, which you never get out of. You can never actually afford what you really want, and you're
Yeah.
always wanting more.
I'm taking that in. So I agree with the debt slavery side of things. I totally agree with that, because the reality is we did move from, if we look back hundreds of years, where people were actually slaves, right? And people whipping their backs. Now, what are you true? If you the majority of people in the United States and in the world live paycheck to paycheck at best, or they live in absolute debt, right? So my question is, so I've been on the side of living paycheck to paycheck. We've been really blessed, and I'm not there right now, but I've been there. So I do know what this is like. And I will tell you from personal experience, living paycheck to paycheck is literally being strapped to the bills that show up in the mailbox. And heaven forbid a bill show up that I wasn't expecting, right? A bill shows up that I'm not expecting, and it's like, literally, it will tear your world apart. Because why? Because we know if the bills aren't paid, our credit then is ruined. And if our credit is ruined, now I can't buy a house or get approved for a loan for a car because I don't have enough to pay it cash, or get rent. Or there's so many implications to having bad credit that it is debt slavery. I couldn't agree more. Now, my question will be, that's where we're at right now. How or can that change as a result of something like central bank digital currencies, combined with a decentralized financial system, combined with use of Bitcoin and all that? But here's the problem. I think that it could get there to where people would be able to really truly be their own bank, not be in debt slavery as it relates to, if you think about how, like, if I look at my mortgage and then I look at ultimately, if I just pay the mortgage payment over the 30 years, how much I actually pay, the amount of interest is absolutely insane. Whereas if I let's just say had a certain amount in Bitcoin and was able to take, loans against that and just pay a nominal interest rate on that, taking loans against, I could buy my house for significantly less money. Now, there's other implications there, but what I'm getting at is there are some solutions, but I don't think the banks will let it happen. The banks are going to say no. The banks are going to say no because they need their control. That is literally who runs our lives, our world. I don't know. Kind of sucks.
Guys, drop it in the chat right now. Fiat currencies, do they cause debt slavery? Yes or no? Yes or no in the chat. But what I was going to say about the debt slavery, right? Slavery never ended. People think slavery ended. It didn't end. It just expanded to now include everybody. There is no racial profiling. There is no discrimination anymore. Everyone and anyone can and is a slave through this debt finance, right? And Ryan goes, Bitcoin is a backdoor for a one world governance. Guys, the dollar is the one world government already. Think about it. The entire world runs their currencies reserved by the dollar.
Yep.
Right? If the dollar goes down, the entire world feels it. So if the United States decides, hey, we're going to sanction you, you feel it. Why? Because you do commerce in dollars, right? Whether it's buying something or selling something, it's denominated in dollars, whether it's oil, natural gases, whatever, it's in dollars.
Yep.
So the one world governance that you're so afraid of from cryptocurrencies, it's already here.
here.
We're already existing under
Yep.
the illusion that there is different countries with different currencies, but they're all backed by the dollar. They're all ran by the dollar, right? That's why when we had Ben on and he was talking about deflation and he said, hey, the world will not allow the United States to go into hyperinflation and lose its world reserve currency because it would crush the entire world.
Yep.
So what does that mean? Critical thinking, 1 + 1 = 2. That means the United States is already running the entire world, and it's already under one government, just with the disguise of choice, the disguise of elections, the disguise of multiple choice with all these countries that all are in a pyramid, my friends.
Yep. And why do you think, just food for thought before we move on to this next article. This next article is a fun one. Why do you think that they are fighting so hard for the SEC to be the governing body over cryptocurrency? Why do you think that they are pressing so hard on stable coins? Think it through, okay? So let's talk this out. We talk about this a lot, but let's talk it through one more time. We've always got new people in here. Hey, if you're new, make sure you let us know in the chat. We appreciate you. Drop a little new in the chat if you're new here. We appreciate you guys. X out of the live chat. Smash a like too while you're at it. We appreciate the love there. Let's think this through. So you've got you've got a stable coin, right? And then you've got your money that you put into a bank account. When I take my money and I put it in a bank account, they then loan that money out. I think we all know that, or at least we should know that. If we don't know that, well, welcome. This is what's been happening with your money forever, right? So I am giving the bank a loan, and the bank is then loaning it out to other people, and they are making interest on that money, a lot of interest on that money, okay? What am I getting? Like 0.01, maybe to 0.03%? Income stable coins. We have a coin, an asset that is pegged to the dollar. Okay. So technically, depending on the stable coin, they say that they have assets or reserves that equal the amount of the coin. But let's just assume that that's true, right? So let's just say we have a 1-to-1 backing, okay, on USDC, for example. Now I have an asset that is going to stay, at $1. It's not going to be going up and down and all crazy. It's going to stay 99 cents to $1.01. It's going to stay right there at $1, right? And that asset, I can park it in a place that's just like a bank, but not technically a bank. And I can make 6, 8, 10, 12%. Guys, do you know exponentially how massive that is? And what does that do? Once people remember the first story we were talking about, educating young kids? Do you think these young kids that grow up knowing Bitcoin, knowing decentralization, knowing decentralized finance, do you think that they would put money into a bank if they were taught on the front end? No, 100% not. Why would you? We are literally losing money by putting it into a bank. Inflation is killing it, right? And we're not getting anything for sitting it there. I literally might as well keep my fiat under my freaking mattress. I used to keep a large chunk of money in a safe somewhere, right? And my wife always used to give me crap about it. And my whole idea behind it was like, well, what if? Well, now I keep a whole lot on hardware wallets, right? My thinking and thought process has changed, right? And ultimately, I can move it faster. I can move it easier. I'm not at risk of somebody holding a gun to my head because, I just don't have, right, the private keys. I don't know, right? And so I guess what I'm getting at is there is opportunity that lies in front of us with stablecoins, and that is the reason, because it is telling the banks are seeing that they could be pushed out of business, and that absolutely is a fact. They could be pushed right out of business. What do we got going on in the chat, Miguel?
We got Ryan, right? He states, we are the reserve currency, went off gold standard, flooded the world with dollars without being able to purchase oil in dollars. Yes, and this goes back to exactly what we were saying, right? The fact that we have this level of control, the fact that we are the reserve currency, and every country out there is dependent on the dollar and the status of the United States.
Yeah.
One world government, right? all that matters is what is the United States government doing. Every other government is irrelevant.
Yeah. I want to say welcome. Arnie Powell, welcome. And Seraphim Flux, welcome. We always like to welcome new people. We appreciate you guys. Guys, listen, we teach. We want to educate. The whole point of that is to help you make better decisions in the crypto space. So welcome. We are really glad that you're here. We do have debatecrypto.academy. The link is actually down below. You can see it down below right now. And what we do there is we have we call them the DCA fam, Debate Crypto Academy fam, right? And we meet we meet multiple times throughout the week. We have a set seminar every single Sunday where you have access to Miguel and I on video, right? We'll answer any questions you want. We've set up hardware wallets. We've done deep dives on DeFi. We've looked at projects in depth. We literally make ourselves available and have subjects that we teach on. And then throughout the week, we do hangouts as well. And we also have a private Facebook group in which we are all working together. Through this next bear market, let me just say, we are going to be diving into a bunch of metaverse and play to earn games together as a group. It's going to be freaking fun. Check us out. We're actually giving away the Bitcoin Standard right now. A few people actually in the chat right now have this headed their way. Boom. Best book ever. No, we're not being paid to promote this. I'm just letting you know this book will change your life in the way you know the crypto space and Bitcoin specifically. So moving on. Last but not least, Budweiser. Budweiser. Okay, no, I'm just old, and you guys probably don't even remember that commercial.
No, nobody got that joke, man.
Yes, I know. I'm old. Sean Bell in the chat got that. Sean got that joke. Sean, drop it in the chat. You know you got that joke. All right, cool. Anyway, Budweiser launching Ethereum NFTs as, quote, key to the Budverse. The storied beer brand is debuting 1,936 NFTs ranging from $499 to $999, each unlocking future benefits and perks. Here's a picture of one of the NFTs here. In brief, Budweiser will launch its first NFT collection today. This was earlier today. The collectibles will serve as access to as yet unrevealed Budverse and come with purported benefits. Popular beer brand Budweiser was a surprising entrant to the NFT space in August when it purchased a Bud-themed piece from Tom Sachs' Rocket Factory collection and used it for the brand's official Twitter page. Now, Budweiser is launching its own NFTs, and they'll be an entry pass to the company's larger ambitions in the crypto space. Today, Budweiser will release its first series of NFTs, dubbed Budverse Cans Heritage Edition. The series will span 1,936 individual NFT collectibles referencing the year the company first started releasing beer in cans. Each NFT will feature elements of classic photos, ads, and design documents charting the history of the brand. Furthermore, each NFT will bring as yet unannounced perks to holders. These NFTs will act as your key to the Budverse and can unlock exclusive benefits, rewards, and surprises. The brand announced on its official Discord server, noting that such benefits are strictly for owners of legal drinking age. Pause. Before I let Miguel dive in and tell you what one of our friends had happen as a result of these today, I do want to say these NFTs will act as your key to the Budverse. What does Budverse sound like? Budverse sounds like metaverse. They, in my estimation, are hinting at the fact that they are going to have their own type or own piece of land somewhere in the metaverse, possibly their own metaverse altogether. I'm not really sure. I'm just speculating at that point. Miguel, tell me what you told me earlier today about this.
Well, first of all, I just want to say we're going to be drinking beer in the metaverse, bro. We're just going to be out there just chugging forever. No hangovers the next day. It's going to be great. No hangovers. No such thing as alcohol poisoning in the metaverse. Just drink till you drop.
Yeah, right.
And then just respawn, right? Just respawn. So I know somebody. We both know somebody. He's been on the channel before. Was able to get in, got one of the more rare ends of these Budweiser NFTs, and within 2 hours was able to buy it and able to sell it for 3.3 ETH, my friends. 3.3 ETH. That is, do some Rain Man math for me right now.
It's like 14 grand, man. That's sweet.
14 grand in 2 hours. 2 hours. Bob
Hold on, Miguel.
minted
Before
it,
you
sold it.
before you go further, because this ties in. The Budweiser cans will be sold at 2 rarity levels, with core cans being available $499 a piece and gold cans selling for $999 a piece. So let's even say he bought the $999 one, right? He 14x'd his money. The company has confirmed that the NFTs will be minted on the Ethereum network and sold on the leading marketplace, OpenSea. But here's the interesting twist: Budweiser will mint the NFTs themselves before distributing them to buyers, thereby covering the transaction fees, which can often be very expensive on Ethereum. Hey, bravo, Budweiser. Bravo. I like that. Drop a 1 in the chat if you are interested in maybe getting yourself a Budweiser NFT, or if you just like what is going on here in the NFT space as a whole. Actually, better yet, drop a 1 in the chat if you own an NFT. If you own an NFT, drop a 1 in the chat. If you don't, drop a 2. Miguel.
And there's so many companies that are getting into the NFT space, right? We have Budweiser here today, but we see Nike, we see Adidas, we see a lot of different other brands coming into their own little metaverse style, having partnerships with Coinbase and these NFT marketplaces, because they literally understand, like you said, brand recognition before, and they want to be everywhere. Right, we saw Chipotle have a digital storefront inside of, I believe, Decentraland or Sandbox. I forgot which one it was, and people were literally walking inside and getting coupons so that when they go to a real life store, they're like, "Oh, you weren't at our digital store? Come on in. Here's your coupon." Bing, bang, boom.
Yeah.
Right? Marketing. Just how businesses have transitioned onto Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and have been creating this personalized feeling with its audience through these social medias. The next level of social media is the metaverse, and that is why we're seeing these brands moving on there, claiming their territory to be once again at the top of the game. Because if they don't, there'll be a Toys R Us. There'll be a Sears, right, left in the dust of history because they did not pivot with the times, or they waited too long to do the pivot, right? Bye-bye, Blockbuster. Hello, Netflix, right?
Yeah, for sure. NFTs are so big right now, and they have been for a while, but they're really, really just coming into their own. Actually, it was super cool. So on Thanksgiving morning, we have the Thanksgiving Macy's Day Parade, right? I don't know if anybody caught this, but there's 2 things about the Macy's Day Parade that I thought was really interesting. Number 1, they had a whole bunch of features throughout the parade where you could put on your VR glasses and you saw something different than other people saw. Okay. That is what I call an introduction to the metaverse, right? It's sliding in some virtual reality stuff. It's trying to basically program us to understand, to know that this is normal and show it off a little bit, right? Secondly, I'm talking to my to my father-in-law's girlfriend's son, and he says to me, did you get the Macy's NFT? And I said, the Macy's NFT? He's like, bro, this is exactly what he said. He said, bro, you're like the CryptoKeeper. Like, how do you not know about the Macy's NFTs? I said, bro, right? There's lots of NFTs out there. Tell me. He said they were giving them away. And so Macy's literally gave away, I jumped on and tried to grab one. It was too late. They gave away a bunch of NFTs that said, hey, I watched the 2021 Macy's Day Parade, and it was a limited number. So they gave them away. It's like having a concert ticket. It's just saying, hey, I was there. Now,
forever.
Could a concert ticket someday be worth something, right? Could it someday be worth something that you were at the first, listen, you got the first NFT that Macy's ever put out, right? And someday that might be crazy freaking valuable. And I think it's really freaking cool. And Miguel, there's a lot of people in the chat that need some NFTs, bro.
They do need some NFTs. And what I was going to say was, what you're talking about right there is, that has already happened. Disney World, right? People that have tickets from the original time when Disney World first came out, Disney World, not Disneyland, right?
Yeah.
And still have that ticket, that's worth a lot of money, right? Yeah. Disney World is a perfect example of things living long enough, and if somebody preserved it, is worth a lot of money later down the line. The pins, right? The pins that people collected in Disney World, they're worth a lot of money. There's a lot of rarity to them. Now, all those things are moving digitally. People are not going to have a physical chain hanging around them with all the pins and jackets, right? They're going to literally have it in the digital space.
Yeah.
So rarity is definitely going to be a thing. And talking about NFTs, one that we should have mentioned that we have not is, guys, everybody watching right here, you're going to get an exclusive if you don't know about this already. But The Matrix is releasing their NFTs tomorrow.
Oh, is that tomorrow?
Yes, this is tomorrow, guys. So if you guys are watching live right now, you're getting the inside scoop. Tomorrow, The Matrix will be releasing their NFTs. I believe it's about 100,000 of them.
Bro, we are getting on that. What time?
Yes.
What time? Do you know?
We're going to have to discuss that later. I don't know off the top of my head, unless you can Google it real quick. It will be happening tomorrow. I do know it's on Nifty. It's not on OpenSeas. It will be on nifty.com, I believe it is. You're going to have to sign up, make an account, obviously connect your MetaMask wallet. But I think that they're only being, I believe, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. You have to buy them with DAI stablecoins. You're not going to be able to buy them with ETH or any other cryptocurrency. You're literally going to have to buy them with DAI. But the best part about these NFTs are, one, they're going to be released for $50.
Check it out.
$50.
The Matrix NFT avatars. Nifty's Matrix NFT avatars launch information. Here's everything you need to know in anticipation for Tuesday, November 30th. This is kind of out of left field, guys, but I'm glad you brought it up, Miguel. This is definitely important. We're so excited for the launch of the Matrix NFT avatar program, which we believe will push the boundaries of what's possible in the NFT space and will be the largest avatar program of its kind to date. As fans of the Matrix film ourselves, we know how special this NFT drop is because for the first time ever, fans can now become a part of this iconic story and forge their own path within the Matrix. Check this out. Here's everything you need to know. The Matrix avatars will be available Tuesday, November 30th. Sorry. Matrix avatars will be available Tuesday, November 30th at 1:01 p.m. Eastern for $50 per avatar. Fans have the option to buy their avatars with fiat, credit or debit card, and or cryptocurrency DAI on the Palm blockchain. We've got some links to help you out with some of the crypto process and at the end of the blog. We will be limiting the initial avatar purchases at 25 avatars per account per day. This is to ensure many fans will have the chance to collect avatars if they so choose. This number is decided based on the research from the comparable projects and is in line with standard mint limits, as the limit represents 0.00025 of the total supply. There's 100,000 avatars total. Secondary avatar purchases will not be limited on Nifty's marketplace, and approximately 5%, which is 5,000 of the NFTs, will be withheld from the initial sale for use in community activities, giveaways, customer service resolutions, and promotional purposes throughout many phases of the project. Additionally, due to the live testing process of these wallet, will hold some of the more traditionally coveted serial numbers at the launch, specifically avatar numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 99, 999, and 100,000. These and many other Matrix NFT avatars minted on launch day will be gifted back to the community of avatar holders and who will take part and complete and complete Matrix missions going forward. The next phase of this project kicks off with the choice of taking, this is cool. You get to choose whether you take a red pill or a blue pill on December 16th, right? Over time, they'll hold missions for red and blue pilled avatar holders to complete. Completing a mission will earn avatar holders special skill program NFTs that can be used to upgrade an avatar and move up red and blue pill leaderboards. Collectors will have a chance to earn ultra rare NFTs by climbing up the leaderboards. This is cool because they're just keeping you involved. And finally, the Matrix NFT avatars were created with Epic Games' MetaHuman creator using a number of randomly generated attributes to create each avatar. This means that avatars will not resemble characters from the film, but instead be new creations that exist within and are inspired by the Matrix universe. Miguel, this is...
Dude, all I want to say here is the only pill I'm taking is the orange pill. For Bitcoin, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's go to the moon. Guys, listen. NFTs are where it's at. Metaverse, where it's at. These are the future, and the future is now. Okay.
Yes.
These massive companies are not introducing these things to lose money. They're introducing these things because they see, just like hopefully you see, where we are headed as this future moves forward. And guys, there's opportunity. I'm telling you right now, there's even for something as simple as a flip, right? Miguel and I got into the Red Village recently. Miguel just bought some 3x3 punk, right, today. If you wanted to, theoretically, you could get into a lot of these and do a quick flip, double your money, triple your money, 10x your money. I mean, it can get wild, but the reality is you can do that, or you can just hold it because you like it, or you can hold out for a longer period of time to engage with the community. Take that red pill, right? Find out what the missions are like. Yep. There's so much involved in a lot of these different NFT, projects. I think it's freaking super cool.
Yeah. And just one last reminder and caution to everyone. NFTs are awesome. We're involved in some NFTs, not a lot of them, right? We're not like NFT degenerates or anything.
Right.
But NFTs are extremely illiquid. And what do I mean by that? Yeah. That means, as a perfect example, it's happened to me right now, right? I wanted to sell some of my NFTs from a game that I'm really not playing as much anymore. And I thought, well, I want to pick up some ETH and probably maybe pick up some other NFTs with that money. Looked at the market for those NFTs. The market has really been down lately. So I'm not really going to be able to sell those NFTs for any decent amount of ETH in return from compared to what I put into it. So one is I'm not going to be able to regain my money. And two is I put them up for sale for a couple of days now, maybe close to a week or so. No bites, right? Meaning nobody's buying these NFTs, meaning even if I wanted to take the loss on them, I can't, because I literally cannot sell them. Therefore, meaning illiquid. They do not move. I cannot get rid of it and sell it to somebody else. So unlike crypto, where you can just take that loss at any moment and sell and regain at least some portion of your money, with NFTs, you might be stuck with the NFT forever. So if you're not in it for the quick flip or in it for the very long time, the intermediate time range is very, very speculative, where you might be stuck with it forever and never sell it.
Yeah, definitely. And that's part of one of the things that we talk about. Again, one more time, education. You need to know that when you get into any asset, you need to know the pros, the cons, the pluses, the minuses, what could happen, what is happening. And we can help lead you there with debatecrypto.academy if you guys are interested. Crypto fam, we got anything in the chat that we need to touch on before we call it an evening? It looks like a lot of people need to get into some NFTs. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see here. New people, welcome. We are super glad that you are here. And just as a reminder, if you guys jumped in late, every morning moving forward, 9 a.m., we are releasing an educational video. We believe in education. We are calling it Crypto Kindergarten, okay? And what we are trying to do is introduce these crypto terms, these crypto ideas, and explain them to you simple enough that a child could understand, or a child, explaining it to you. Now, full disclosure, there's definitely more to it on some of these, even this first one, right? There's definitely some technical side to it, but I try to break it down as much as possible to make it as simple as possible, because the reality is you've got to get educated and need to take the time. It's literally, I think the video tomorrow is 7 minutes long. If you can't take 7 minutes out of your day to try to help educate yourself, to truly understand where your funds are going, where your money is going, then I don't know that I can help you, right? You've got to be able to understand, if you're going to put money into something, what is happening with it and where that is headed. So Arnie, definitely debatecrypto.academy, man. We'd love to have you. Check it out. Again, we are giving away the Bitcoin Standard as well. So that'll give you a nice little shot right off the start. Get the Bitcoin Standard. It's a freaking fantastic book. Dotchin's in the Debate Crypto Academy. Who else was in here? Sean was in here. He's in the Academy. Who else was in here? There was a number of what we call the DCA fam in the house this evening. So we are excited to have you guys. Guys, listen, if nobody's told you before today, we freaking love you. We care about you guys. We appreciate the support. If you haven't put a like on the board today, we appreciate that. That tells YouTube that you appreciate us. Hopefully you do, but we do appreciate you. So,
and remember, subscribe. $500 giveaway 2 days before Christmas. So subscribe and you enter to win $500 2 days before Christmas, guys.
Guys, that's literally better than any scratch off. You've got to pay for scratch offs when you walk in. You don't have to pay. And even if you don't win the $500, guess what? You learned something. So you got free education and the opportunity to win $500. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you like our videos. Remember, every morning moving forward, we're going to be releasing a lot more content, guys. We are actively pushing to put out a lot more content, like to the tune of like 5 videos a day. Spoiler alert, right? That's what we're trying to do right now, right? And it has been advised to us that we will be able to exponentially grow, as long as we continue to push out fantastic content. So we are spending a lot more time, doing all of the research and education and the editing of films and videos and all the things, right? And we're doing that for you, and we're doing it for us as well. But we appreciate you guys. So if nobody's told you before today, guys, we love you. We hope you guys have a fantastic evening. And until next time, hodl.